Hello guys, once again it's Matt and today we have another video. So let's thank our members very quickly. Thank you Overland 11B for being the Fulcrum member, Commander Frosty, Lafushi, Igor, Yuyush, Justin Field, Jab, Fastropub, and Silami for being the Foxbat members. It helps a lot. So thank you guys, it really does help. Thank you all the Fishbed members, and be a member if you want to help a little bit more. It helps a lot, you have no idea how much. And yeah, let's get into it. Subscribe as well. Let's very quickly get into it. We have 10 features that are needed in War Thunder in my opinion. Okay, I know a lot of people will disagree with some of them, but a lot of people will agree with me in most, I think, because it's a common uh, many of them are common things that people talk about it, you know. So let's start with the first. So the first one is an actual. It's not an actual feature. It's just uh, basically a tweak in what it is right now. I think we really need EC maps to be more present in the RB rotation in top tier. Okay, a lot of people complain about the 9.7 getting EC maps and stuff like that, and I completely agree. I mean, it's complicated to fly on those maps when you barely fly at Mach 1 sometimes, and without radar guided missiles, without radars in general, it is hard to find people. So I just completely agree that it is not too good to actually have those maps below like 10.3, 10.7. So I think, especially for top tier, it will be amazing to have these maps at least like in a 50% map rotation kind of thing. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I love the way that EC maps are working in top tier right now, because you basically have the proper BVR engagements at the start of the match, and eventually you ended up getting into furballs and stuff like that, and it becomes the same game as always, which is fun as well. I'm going to complete this feature as well with the next one, but first, it's just a way to actually have a more realistic combat arena. You know, they completely remove the enduring confrontation mode from RB, you know. So this is the only way that we can actually fly these maps, or we have to fly in simulator, which is not. It's fun, but right now with the 14 kind of dominating, it's not that fun. So yeah, it's a problem, and I think this would help a little bit with that. Together with the EC maps being more present, I think the second feature that we're going to talk about, I think we should get some objectives in a match. First of all, I think we need to have kind of a different approach to RRB maps in general. You know, I think the way that it works normally in EC maps is already a little bit better. I understand that if you actually divide the player base a little bit in the map for specific objectives throughout the map, I know that sometimes people will just keep running and bombing and stuff like that, and you don't know where they are. But to be honest, there are some stuff that can be fought against that. I think maybe in the future we can have kind of a GCI system or something like that, or even, I don't know, some kind of system that tells you where the general idea where an enemy is. Not exactly, but a general idea, like a GCI would in real life, a ground control interceptor officer, I think it's called. But yeah, basically a way that for you to know where the guy is, at least if it's the last one that is running away or something like that, because I know a lot of people are frustrated with that. To be honest, in most matches I like when people do that, because I just go ground attack and stuff like that, and it is just fun to do a different thing other than just attack air targets. And with that, I think we need, with the new objectives and a more spread out match, you know, new objectives would be what I mean, what kind of objectives are you saying? You know, I'm saying objectives, different objectives. So probably already we have convoys and ground attack battles and stuff like that. That could be still a thing. You know, that it's a good thing that it's in C right now. but I think we need more special targets, especially. So my idea would be to have a special target, for example, a runway in a specific, I mean a non-usable runway in a specific part of the map, for example, or a capital ship could be a carrier or something like that, or different types of things like that, you know. So you would have maybe a high priority target or a VIP kind of thing that you have to destroy the place that he is, bomb that place, or maybe a special vehicle that it's on a special place like that. You know, some different objectives like that, and defended by heavy AA systems, like not the normal Gepards and 247s and Rolands that we have right now, but actual good AA systems like the Hawk, like the S125, S75. These old ones, doesn't have to be S300s, right? But these old ones that don't have the most amount of range. I know a lot of people would run to these areas to actually defend themselves, but it would completely change a little bit the way that you have to think about the map itself. Imagine if you needed to destroy a capital ship and they actually have good AA missile defense systems. What do you need to defend to attack that? You need anti-ship missiles, for example, seed missiles to destroy the AA system to attack a position or a runway. So different types of missions, okay? And if you destroy that, the capital ship, the pillbox that a general is in, you know, something like that, or a runway or entire battery AA systems, you get special rewards. You can get maybe boxes, maybe more RP, times 2 RP for the whole match if you destroy that thing. Something like that, you know, a bonus of RP of 1,000 points, 2,000 points for that specific target, or a lot of silver lions, stuff like that, you know, different types of objectives. I don't think we should get like a different way that the battle ends for that, but just different types of objectives for you to do different things, to not be just a TDM match all the games. Okay, you can actually put more aircraft and other types of aircraft that can actually use other types of weaponry and stuff like that. So yeah, that would be pretty good. The third one is, and fourth one, and I mean, a lot of them in the upcoming features will be related to this. But yeah, another one is strategic bombers, but AI, you know, maybe even helis, but especially strategic bombers as an AI. So we probably won't see strategic bombers from the Cold War in the tech tree. So we won't probably see B-52s, 295s, 216s as a tactical bomber, or any of those American ones. So what we can see is actually an AI's basically cluster of strategic bombers flying just like we have right now with A5s and no, it's not the A5, it's the Yak-38 and aircraft like that, the CL-13, but with proper strategic bombers flying really high, you know. And if you destroy all of them, you get a bonus in RP or something like that. Since we cannot have strategic bombers because Gaijin apparently is going for another type of bomber and CAS aircraft, this would be a way to implement them and be cool to actually intercept, and it would be very interesting to use some aircraft especially for that, like a MiG-21, maybe in the future a MiG-25 or the F-106 for example, or something like that, you know. A way to destroy bombers without having to actually use it for AI. If you don't destroy them, maybe they can hurt your team a little bit or something like that. I don't know. There's many possibilities that Gaijin is not properly using, to be honest, because it's not that hard, I would think, but I'm not a programmer, so I don't know. Another type of feature that we can see, the fourth one, is anti-ship missiles. So obviously anti-ship missiles against players would not be very usable right now because the ships that we have are very old, and the aircraft and BR of ships are not quite there yet, you know. But still, aircraft like the AJ-37, for example, or many other ones like the I think even the Su-17, but I don't know. There are many aircrafts that have that. A lot of American ones, a lot of Russian ones, a lot of Swedish ones. They use anti-ship missiles to destroy ships, you know. And together with the objectives that I told you about before, you know, capital ships in the EC maps that you can normally use and destroy and stuff like that, you could use anti-ship missiles. So it would be a different type of mission that you can do. It's just a different type of employment of a weapon that you can use, and you can get a lot of points with it. The objective would be to evade basically all the anti-airs and all the aircraft that are flying around and get close enough to the capital ship and actually try to destroy them with the anti-ship missile. Would be amazing. I think it's a level of depth that actually goes into the game, you know. And another thing, obviously, is seed weapons. Obviously, the fifth thing. So basically the same way as the anti-ship, but to destroy AA systems, it would make it a little bit more to actually use it in ground battles to destroy AA systems, you know. We don't see like proper very high tech ones like that shoot from 100 kilometers like the KH 35 I think it's called. Is it? I don't remember the number, but still, those modern ones that are being used in Ukraine right now in the Su-35. But we can actually use the old ones like the KH 25 anti-radiation version. You can use the Shrike missile and stuff like that. That will not be OP, you know, in ground battles, and you can use it in air RB as well for those more heavy AA systems that you can use and destroy the AA sites and stuff like that. Get more points with that. It would be just fun to have a different type of mission that you can do in the A4s, in the A7s, in many in the MiG-27s, and many other aircrafts, you know. So yeah. The sixth one would be cluster and anti-runway munitions. Obviously, what we already have the napalm, which is kind of a war crime, I think, to use it. I don't remember exactly if it is, but probably is. And cluster, I think it is as well. But since it's a game and you know nobody's getting hurt or anything like that, you can actually destroy some tanks with it in a more open area, you know, and in a more wide area than a normal bomb. It would be very interesting to see how it works. I have a feeling that it would make it kind of problem with performance in some PCs maybe, because in DCS it's a problem, cluster munitions sometimes. But still it would be pretty good to have that to kill some tanks, to kill convoys and stuff like that in RB, to kill proper tanks in ground RB. So it would be just make sense, you know. General purpose bombs are used a lot, but cluster bombs are also used a lot in some wars. And anti-runway ammunition also can be a different type of ammunition that can be added just for the different type of missions and stuff like that that we can see in game, as I said before. So you can use it. It's normally the Bethab 500, for example, I think it's called. It's a bomb that normally they have rockets, so you drop them. They glide a little bit with a parachute, and then they release the parachute, and they, when they are fully vertical, you know, and they fire a rocket so they can penetrate the runway and explode the runway and just defeat the concrete, you know. So yeah, that would be amazing as well to have. So different types of weapons and stuff like that, that I think will be make the game. It just makes the game a little bit more fun to play with a little bit of a different type of taste, you know. It's just not just general purpose bombs and killing bases and just mainly killing other aircraft. You can actually kill another other stuff with that and have different types of missions that you can do in the EC maps, for example. Not only in the EC maps, but still, it's one of the main ones that you would use that for. Then another feature is RWRs. Okay, we already have RWRs in game right now, but we need proper advanced RWRs. Already talked about it in another video, but we really need those more modern aircraft like the MLD, like the F-14, like the Mirage 2000 is coming. We'll have more advanced RWRs that actually work like they work in real life, identifying the type of the target, the distance for the target, where the target is exactly, um, together with a launch warning that most of the more advanced ones have, for semi-active missiles and for the Phoenix especially. So yeah, I don't think it's a thing that will completely change the game right now, but it is a preparation for missiles like the R-27, the M7M, and in the future the Fox 3, proper Fox 3 missiles like the M120, the R-77 missiles like that. They will be way too effective in the game to not have a better way to actually detecting it and stuff like that. They will turn a lot. They will have a very stealthy kind of thing because they will be fired off, and they will turn on their radar in a while, like the Phoenix does. And this will kind of be a problem when the missile turns 30 Gs and has more energy than the Phoenix, kind of, So, and it's flying much faster. So, for now, it's not a problem, but it's a preparation for more advanced missiles in the future. I think it's a really needed problem to fix. The last trees are more quality of life kind of thing, but it's still pretty good. So better decal system. I think the decal system that we have right now, it's completely weird, but especially for numbers. Okay, I think we should get, one of the members in the Discord actually said that we need a kind of a decal slider for if it's old or new, like the camouflage that we have right now, but a slider for the decals. Because if you use number decals, for example, most of them, if they are really old decals, made like back in the day, they will be kind of weird and they don't fit the modern aircraft, So it's kind of a weird one. And together with that, I think we should have a similar system as the DCS has, that you just choose a number and you can just put the number and it's fine, That would make it, I mean, it's hard to code probably because there's so many aircraft in the game and many skins and stuff like that. So I doubt that they will do this, but maybe for some aircraft, I don't know. It's just something that DCS has, but in DCS is such a less number, minor number of aircraft, and it's just different, completely different. But still, it's something that I think just the way that the decals are right now, it's kind of weird. The penultimate one is the carrier being used. So yeah, they had a lot of trouble doing those carriers. The USS Foresto, the Ark Royal, I think, and the Baku. But they are just not used normally. They are only basically used in simulator battles, which is funny. I think in some low tier, for some reason, old maps they use that, but still, it's kind of weird. Why would you not put in DC maps in top tier or even in normal maps? I mean, just put the aircraft carrier there. It's just nice to take off from a aircraft carrier if you are an aircraft that can land in a carrier, It's just more fun to fly. A little bit more fun. It's kind of a salt, or it's kind of a seasoning of the game, It just makes it a little bit better. The final one is obviously drop tanks and IFR, or in-flight refueling systems. I think these would be more used on simulators or even in EC maps, but still a feature that should be added. I mean, even though it's not going to be used too much in the normal maps, I think it just needs to be added because it's a major thing in aircraft. And the in-flight refueling systems probably only in simulator and DC maps. Obviously, you go to a place and then there will be a tanker there. You can actually get closer and then refueling or something like that. Especially in simulator, that would be pretty cool because most of the times in big maps, you ended up having not enough fuel but having the weapons. So this would help a little bit on actually being just in flying a little bit more time and stuff like that, but it's not because of the usefulness of it, it's just because of the cool factor. The drop tanks, yes, it's for the usefulness of it, but the in-flight refueling is more for the cool factor than for the actual thing, And a bonus one, the last one, because I really don't know if this is going to be added or if I really want to be added in at all, you know. But ECM, yeah, obviously ECM is a very classified thing, so we would not probably never have proper modern ECM systems, but maybe the old ones that can just mask the distance of the target and stuff like that, it would make sense once you have more and more advanced weaponry like the Fox 3 missiles that I told you about before and stuff like that. It would just make sense to have that, you know. So yeah, but I don't know. I feel like this would break a little bit of the game, but still, I don't think it's supposed to be added right now. That's why it's kind of a bonus one. But the other ones, I think they should be added as soon as possible. We will make the game better. I know it's a lot of hard work, and these are just my suggestions. You know, it's not. I'm not ranting, obviously. I'm just having fun talking a little bit of the stuff that I feel like I miss in War Thunder because it's such a cool game. It's such a beautiful game, and I miss some of these stuffs, these functionalities. You know, to just have a little bit more fun. I would love to have anti-ship missiles, for example, intercepting strategic bombers, having more types of missions, you know, having to defend from the heavy AA systems, having to do siege, you know, using anti-runway munitions, having a good RWR. So yeah, drop tanks, IFR. So yeah, such cool features that we cannot not have it. You know, a double negative, but still. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what you think about the 10, the 11 ones that I told you about, and let me know in the comments what is your suggestions, what you think that the game needs the most. And I know a lot of people will talk about BR decompression and fixing the matchmaking and whatever. I'm not talking about that. That's just problems that we have right now that need fixing, and some of these stuff might fix that, but still, some of these problems, but still, these are features that I want to see more Thunder, not exactly problem solving things, you know. So yeah, well, anyway, I see you guys on the next video, and bye guys, see ya, hope you enjoyed, subscribe.